Well, hey now, everybody. It's the Rob from Kiss 106 and 103gbfrocks.com. I just pulled down the wrong pods, and I think I took our station off the air for a second. But either way, please welcome to the show my tag team partner in podcasting, the architect, Jerry Valeri. Burn it down, Jer.
Holy Foxtrot uniform, Charlie Kilo. Wow, oh, wow, oh, wow, oh, wow. What a way to take Raw off the air last night. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, we need to hit the ground running here. First of all, if you don't mind.
Oh, doing it for Dewey.
Do you know what
that's you?
Do you know what that's even referencing?
Not 100%, but I know it's a wrestling shirt.
Me neither. So here, I know it's a Southpaw Regional Wrestling shirt, and I watched Southpaw Regional Wrestling. I don't remember. I think there was like a Dewey Memorial show, maybe. I don't know, but it was like $2 in the clearance section, so I picked it up. Everyone now is asking me who Dewey is, and I'm going to start just saying he's a kid with cancer.
Just say it's my favorite of the duck-tailed ducks.
You know what? Maybe I'll go with that. So there's a subtle thing about
Dewey and Louie can suck it.
Doing it for
I'm
Dewey.
Team Dewey. I'm doing it for Dewey.
One subtle thing about this shirt that I like is, so on the back, I'll show you. There's a logo for. Can you let me know if you can see it because I can't see the screen. There's
there's the Southpaw Wrestling,
and then so even on the inside on the printed tag. It says Southpaw Regional Wrestling, and there's no WWE logo anywhere on this shirt.
That's great. They're working it.
In very small print, very small, it says like copyright World Wrestling Entertainment, but there's like no WWE logo. Every shirt I got has a WWE logo on it except for this one.
Well, I'm telling you what, I've got my eyes on I'm waiting for Kurt Hawkins' shirt to land its way in the clearance bin. It's sooner or later.
Okay, so why don't we? I didn't take any notes.
Let's get to it, man. Holy cow, was that a Raw?
By the way, last night I stayed up late for you guys because I had to watch the VMAs and Raw. I didn't miss a second of Raw. I did miss the last half hour of the VMAs, so I was being a good DJ yesterday, and I got no nap.
One thing I'll tell you is that Lil Xan is proof that we need a purge, and we need one immediately.
We can, anytime he's on the screen, Brittany and I are talking about how ridiculous that kid looks.
How ridiculous he looks. And you know he gets all kinds of business from Miley Cyrus's sister, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's not like I feel like she's like the Ashley Simpson of the Cyruses.
Doesn't matter. He's still getting humdingers from somebody, and he shouldn't be allowed. That kid should not be allowed to get humdingers.
I agree, and this is from someone like trust me, I'm like pedigrees for everybody, and this is a kid who should not be allowed to get a pedigree.
Lil Xan, man, hate that kid.
Yeah.
So,
same.
Anyways, let's get the wrestling.
He's a kid you can just look at and just immediately hate him. He's a heel. He's a heel.
He's a heel. I want to beat him up. I see him and I immediately just want to hit him a lot. He's
a Kevin Federline. So can I get the conversation started here, please?
Sure.
The big thing happened last night. The Shield reunites against Braun Strowman. Triple power bombs him through the table. They bring back the old music, which is slightly different than the Roman Reigns music. Here's my question for you, Jer.
Yes.
Because I'm left with question marks as opposed to exclamation points.
Okay.
Are they heel?
Oh, yeah. I have the same question.
I don't know if I'm missing it or if it's clear, and I don't know what the answer is.
I think that it's kind of Attitude Era-ish, where they're just going to, for real, let people decide on their own if they're going to be heels or not, because there's nobody more over than Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman had that place out of its mind. Like, I swear to God, I don't even know if SummerSlam got as loud as the end of Raw did. I mean, it was just unreal at the end of it. And he comes out, and I just love it. He's stalking to the ring, and he's holding the briefcase, and the match is just kind of wrapping up, and he's not stopping. He's just walking slowly down the aisle. And Finn Balor misses with the coup de grace, and then he does the roll, and then boom, and he gets pinned, and in comes Braun Strowman, and the place is just and he cashes it in, and everybody's freaking out, and JoJo makes the announcement, and then the Shield comes out, and everybody, they never stopped cheering. There were no boos. But when push comes to shove, I just don't think this crowd is going to boo Braun Strowman. That said, before we got to the Shield reunion, I thought, what a great Hell in a Cell Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler would be. What a great Hell in a Cell that would be. But that's like, how do you do that now? Is that done now? Are we done with that now? Maybe we're done with that now.
I'm ready for it to be done. Here's my thing. At the end of Raw, I was hearing boos for the Shield. It was like excitement because they were reunited, and then it was boos because it was against Braun Strowman, which speaks so highly to how much equity they've gotten Braun Strowman as a babyface.
I mean, he's their guy, and now he's going to be the one chasing the heel for the title, because just the way Roman Reigns stood up at the end of that match, like he's down, and you've got Dean and Seth flanking the ring, and Braun's not sure what to do, and Roman stands up and just kind of looks at him like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? And I thought, how brilliant is this writing that they have found a way, because I was like, how are they going to keep the belt on Roman and not have Braun try to cash in every night? This is how you do it. You've just four horsemen Roman. You've just protected that title. Braun Strowman's cash in now isn't a foregone conclusion any longer. He's got to be more strategic, and he's got to get through these three ding-dongs. I absolutely loved it. Man, I backed it up and watched it twice.
Hey, listen.
That was awesome.
All I've been saying over the past how many months is he's really due for a heel turn. Now, here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure we got it. I'm like 60-40 we got it.
Because they're so all in on Rollins and Ambrose being, and I mean,
they were so cleaner. Over a week ago. I mean, when Ambrose returned, these three guys were at peak popularity on their own. And then you had Ambrose and Rollins together. But there's two things. So one is, I'm not positive how WWE is going to be writing them initially. And then two is, you can't gauge the general crowd on a Brooklyn day after SummerSlam crowd.
No, you really can't. I mean, Kurt Hawkins was getting huge pops.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see where this goes. But man, if they go all in on a heel Shields, you just packaged everything up. You put a bow on it. You put a cherry on top. Like, you just did good business for me. I've been saying Roman Reigns will be a great world champion as a heel. And if you're about to give me that, as you can tell, I'm excited.
I was so excited. I don't know if it's going to be heel or face. I think it's more of they're going to let it be like a Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're just going to kick people's ass and see where the crowd goes,
dude,
kind of thing. Because just an hour and a half earlier, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose were getting the biggest pops you thought were going to happen all night, and then whoop, that changed,
dude. But here's the thing: you can't be booking three guys, putting one baby face through a table and have them be tweeners or faces.
I know. I'm waiting to see how it plays out. I don't know if the crowd is ready to boo Dean Ambrose, but I want to see it.
Yeah, I think that they might be, and I think that that's what this needs right now. Just a nice swerve writing, and I mean, man, the only.
Speaking of Dean Ambrose, I love the repackaging of him moveset wise. Like, his match with Dolph Ziggler was great, and just a couple tweaks of style and a little more power to his game. I'm telling you what, Raw had some misses last night, but I don't even think about. I'm not even thinking about those. Like, I'm so excited. The highs were so high that the lows, Bobby Lashley, Riot Squad, it's not bothering me.
Everything before that main event. Everything, dude. Raw should
not everything, but not everything was a low, but not everything was great.
I was experiencing great fatigue during Raw last night because of the weekend. You had the 3+ hours of NXT on Saturday. Sunday you had the 5 hours. This was kind of what I gave it of SummerSlam. 3 more hours last night. I'm going back and forth between the VMAs and Raw so commercials can build up. I was just
2 more tonight.
That's the thing. It's like, man, it was killing me. If you could have put that all into a 2-hour show, it probably would have been great.
Yeah, the Ronda Rousey stuff was okay. They didn't need to bring everybody out.
Yeah, I don't know if everyone there was necessary, but I told you, I think I had a more favorable opinion of her match on Sunday than you did. I was really impressed on Sunday. Again, not that we don't need everything to be, a Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Daniel Bryan kind of classic.
Oh, I liked the Ronda Rousey match. I just thought that she looked stupid, but I thought it was a good match. I thought it was good for what it was.
She last night I even think that she's progressing in small steps as an actress and an entertainer, and she's getting to where she needs to be. So I'm happy with that. I don't know.
They're booking her right. You know how they're booking her? So she takes on Alexa Bliss, and the next night she takes on Stephanie McMahon, and then they have those two in a room together, both in arm slings. Like, that's how you book Ronda Rousey. Yeah. She's breaking people's arms. Like, that's excellent. Keep that up. You wrestle her, your arm's in a sling. I love it.
They're trying to book Rousey like a 98 Steve Austin, and Stephanie is the part of Vince. I feel like that's where they're going to get to.
I don't know if this will surprise people because he's one of my favorites of all time, but I thought Triple H was the drizzling craps.
It was
it was unnecessary and long-winded, and
I'll say unnecessary and long-winded. I'm not going to say there's so much worse on the show last night to me than that.
There are 2 pay-per-views before this one, Triple H. Like, I don't know. I just didn't need it. It felt very self-serving.
I can only hope that this Saturday pay-per-view turns out to be the sequel to Greatest Royal Rumble, in that I love it and everyone else just hates it. I didn't love the Greatest
Saturday.
I hope I love it more than everybody else. That'll just say that, because I didn't love the Greatest Royal Rumble, but I've been saddled with that. But
I feel like I'm going to like this show much more than the Greatest Royal Rumble.
What makes you say that?
Because I'm not going to allow myself to get excited for it. I am unwilling to relinquish my excitement, because I did it for the Greatest Royal Rumble. I allowed myself to get sucked in. I predicted Stone Cold Steve Austin as the GD winner of the thing. Like, I was out of my mind. And I refuse to let that happen here. I became a victim of high expectations, and I won't let it happen again.
We need to rewatch that episode because, oh my God, that was crazy. You thought Steve Austin was going to win the thing.
Dude, I was so excited. The Greatest Royal Rumble predictions episode, go back in our archives and take a look at it. You will see what an excited Jerry Valeri looks like. And then do the recap, and you will see what not happy me looks like.
So just because that wasn't a good show, that's no indication that what's it called, the Super Show, will be bad.
It's going to be the same brand of business, man. They're going to put on it's going to be like a gigantic house show with fireworks.
Well,
that's what it's going to be.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
It's not going to advance any stories. I made the mistake of feeling like the Greatest Royal Rumble was going to advance storylines. It's not going to. I gotta look at it from a booking perspective as fun matches, fun characters, people coming out, lots of fireworks, 80,000 people. Story doesn't matter here. Story has no power here. That's how I'm going into it.
Back in like 2016 and 2015, correct me if I'm wrong, you were a fan of those Saturday specials like Roadblock and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I loved Beast in the East. I thought the Beast in the East it delivered one of my favorite matches that year, the Demon versus Kevin Owens.
So,
but I went into it with different expectations, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going into it with a fun Saturday morning expectation. You like them on Friday. I love Saturday morning wrestling. I grew up with it.
Okay. Here, my thing is, how about instead of that, just go in with realistic expectations?
No, it's got to be low or it's got to be high.
You can't just be realistic. Why are you undressing?
I refuse to get my hopes up this time. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not. You thought Steve Austin was going to win the Greatest Royal Rumble. Maybe you gave it too much credit.
I was on drugs. Okay. By the way, I was on drugs. See this little scar? I was having surgeries. I was on drugs at the time. I was on a lot of drugs. I was on oxycodone.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I thought, what were some of my other ones? I had some ridiculous plans. I mean, I was shooting for the moon,
and I was just letting you say it. Like, and I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense, dude. It was like Shawn Michaels, it was Ric Flair, or Steve Austin.
I didn't say Shawn Michaels, but I did think Flair was gonna.
I believe you did. I believe his name was in that whole thing.
I gotta watch it back. I was high. Dude, don't do drugs, kids, even if they're prescribed to you.
I referenced on the radio this morning. I referenced your fight with Kelly on the TLC recap episode. That's still one of my favorites.
Oh, pal.
It came up organically in a conversation with Maddie.
I didn't know you were still recording. I didn't know I just kept recording.
I couldn't eject you. That was the thing.
I'm so glad that of all our fights, like that's like the most Disney G-rated fight we've ever had.
But it was so great because you didn't think you were on, and it was so real. I loved it.
And I just heard number 8.
And I'm
still here, number 8.
And I'm sitting on the couch. I'm trying to, like, hoping that the sound will get through to you through your phone. That's you're still on the air, pal.
Pal.
What else is there? I've got a run sheet open. I'm trying to think of what else there is to mention from Raw.
I thought it was a good open to the show until we get Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley for over 20 minutes. What in the hay?
That seemed a bit excessive.
I mean, do you think it's funny though, the power of an ending, man, a good ending, because I look back and I woke up and I was like, God, Raw was so great last night. I loved Raw. I'm so excited to talk about Raw today, but it's because I ended with complete and utter excitement, not remembering that we had Curtis Axel versus one of the dudes, I can't remember their names, from the Revival.
Oh, that was was it Dawson?
I think it was Dash Wilder. I think it was the dude without the mustache. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah. So what if, let me throw a hypothetical at you. You tell me what the right way. I'm not saying this would be a better way to do it, but I'm just throwing a what if at you.
Okay.
What if you combine the ending of SummerSlam with the ending of Raw at SummerSlam? So what I mean is Roman beats Brock. Braun cashes in like you predicted. Shield reunites to put him through a table. The heel turn happens all in one night. I feel like that would have been kind of cool.
It would have been cool, and they could have done it to both he and Brock. That would have really.
Not if you're setting Brock up like a heel, but I mean.
Well, you're right, and maybe that's why they didn't. Maybe that's why they didn't do it. I don't mind spreading it out a little bit, like because. It would have changed Raw completely for sure. It wouldn't have given you the Roman Finn match. It wouldn't have made it look like I'm a fighting champion, but now I've got the Shield. I mean, it all looks like one big setup now.
And then there was.
I would have loved it. I would have lost my mind at the end of SummerSlam. I would have given it the same grade, and I would have loved it. But I'd rather have a finish I loved on SummerSlam and a finish I loved on Raw. I mean, good luck, SmackDown. Good luck. Ball's in your court, Wendy. I'm your daddy now.
SmackDown's got some stuff to look forward to, I feel like.
It does, and not quite the level, but I'm excited to see AJ and Samoa Joe. By the way, I wanted to ask you this question. Going back and watching some of SummerSlam yesterday with Evan, both times there were blood. Was that accidental hard way, or was AJ Styles a bladeroo?
Oh yeah.
Because Seth Rollins had blood that I think was not supposed to happen.
Seth Rollins was definitely hard way. Boy, especially after because I was getting flamed after WrestleMania. I didn't have a strong opinion either way about AJ. I'm still sticking by my guns at WrestleMania, though.
I felt like AJ did the honors. It seems to me the way the cameras worked, the bump he took that busted him doesn't look like one that would normally bust someone the hard way.
Sure.
And then it cuts to Joe, Joe's just like, hey, Wendy, hey, Wendy, what do you think of these boobs? And then they cut to AJ, who's bleeding now. But I don't think Seth meant to get color. In fact, he looked a little panicked when he had color, like, oh, crap, like almost like he knew there was going to be color later in the night and Vince was going to lose his mind.
But it's funny how the two biggest shows of the year are the one where all this accidental blood happens. You guys see what I'm saying about WrestleMania?
Right. I just don't think that's why I don't think that AJ was an accident.
Boy, we're re-hitting all of my feuds of the year this year. We got the Greatest Royal Rumble. We got the Blade at WrestleMania. We're hitting all of them today, pal.
I still disagree with you on the Blade on WrestleMania, but the Greatest Royal Rumble, I just think I was a victim of high expectations. I'm coming around to thinking I thought there was too much coming. Like I don't know what I was expecting. Like the ghost of Eddie Guerrero to put on a 5-star match with the ghost of Chris Benoit. Like I didn't know what was going to happen.
You had these high expectations for sure. It's funny because like you seem like someone who made the predictions on drugs, but watched while you were in recovery or something.
But it was the opposite because I watched it on drugs. Because I had gotten my surgery that morning at noon, and I came home and laid on the couch, and Kelly gave me lemonade, and I took maybe an extra pill, and then I turned it on, and then I just got pissed. I got pissed. I got mad at the royal family. I got mad at the not seeing any women all looking all good. I got
mad about that last thing. It wasn't that no women wrestled. I think that, and I don't think this got enough attention for as progressive as WWE is not only being, but so here's where they're being as far as progressive, and then here's where they're presenting themselves as far as how progressive they've been. For them to go and perform a show where women aren't allowed to perform at and do a big pay-per-view, a big hubbub about it, in my opinion, is in bad taste.
Yeah, and women wouldn't even be allowed to drive to the show.
Yeah, I feel like that is, for all the good that they have done for women's wrestling, I feel like that was a big, it was a big hypocrisy. It was a big, just an opposite of what they're going for. I thought it was really bad taste.
Big mess ups.
Even we didn't spend enough time on that. I know I brought that up before, but I thought that was really a poor decision. My opinion. We
were too busy fighting. By the way, big mess ups is the nickname I'm giving Charlotte's boobs. Look at those big mess ups. Oh man.
All right, let me give you the run sheet. Stop me when you hear something you want to talk about.
Okay.
We already did the Shields. We already did Ronda Rousey and Stephanie. We did Triple H challenging Undertaker.
We did Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley putting me to sleep.
Did Corbin and Lashley. Kurt Angle denies Brock Lesnar an immediate rematch.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, I don't know where that's headed. That's just headed to like Daniel Cormier land now.
The Riot Squad defeats Boss and Hug Connection. I watched none of that. I was exhausted. I just had to step away. Dean Ambrose defeats Dolph Ziggler via pinfall. We did that. Oh,
Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon versus the Riot Squad.
I did that.
Not at SummerSlam, not at SummerSlam, not at SummerSlam versus not at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because you only singled out Asuka for not being present at SummerSlam.
Bayley and Sasha Banks is a big one.
But that's good. I don't need everyone crowbarred in. I don't need a battle royal every time. That's okay.
By the way, I know we joked about it a little bit. I will say this. It was short. It was sweet. I liked Elias versus Kurt Hawkins. I kind of liked Kurt Hawkins. The Brooklyn Brawler of the WWE.
everything though, I definitely feel like what happened on Sunday with Elias was not supposed to happen, in my opinion. Again, I still haven't checked up to see if anything was reported about that. I don't think that guitar was supposed to break right there. I think that it broke unintentionally. He got hot, kicked the set because he just screwed up the segment, and they just scratched it, is what I feel happened. I don't know. What?
That'd be so funny if that's what happened.
I think it is. I mean, Jared, if it is not what happened, what purpose did that serve?
It was so weird.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that has to be what happened.
Yeah.
Authors of Pain defeated Titus Worldwide.
Oh
that was
my
long.
God. Remember back a week ago when I was high on drugs and I said Paul Heyman was going to manage the Authors of Pain?
Oh God, you're killing me today.
Dude, I'm just, every once in a while, I like to think of myself as an intelligent wrestling fan, and I can handle it, and I come up with good ideas, and I stay within the parameters of my intelligence. And then other times I turn into this hot taken mark, and I just can't even save myself. I can't even save myself.
I mean, the epitome of that is the Greatest Royal Rumble predictions episode. I mean, it's like, I love it because what's one thing that's fun about what we do, and not just Jerry and I, but anyone as a wrestling fan, like in our head, we fantasy book, like we write where a fun angle that a storyline could go in. And then sometimes people will pitch these ideas at me and I'm like, guys, that's a great idea. Like what you just said is going to be so much better than what they do, but they're never going to do something like that. They're
never going to do the Empire of Pain.
It's way too much Sopranos and not enough WWE. It's like, guys, remember who we're talking to here. You know? By the way, I was right. It was Scott Dawson over Bo Dallas last night.
Come on, pal.
Stephanie. Oh, I didn't even catch this. Stephanie McMahon sends Kurt Angle on vacation.
Oh, yeah. So now Baron Corbin's the GM. That's going to stink.
I think that's about it, man.
The interim acting general manager Constable Corbin. Like, how many names can we give this ding dang?
Anything else we should talk about? I mean, I think we covered the big stuff.
I feel like we're good.
Did a question? I feel like a question came out of this episode. Something we can pitch to the universe.
Is the Shield heel? Are they heels?
I can go with that. Yeah, sure.
Right? Are they heels? I mean, are they going to be heels? Huh?
I think right now it's up in the air, but I think yes. I mean, I think it was a heel turn last night.
They're a heel.
Was that a heel turn last night or just a Shield reunion?
They should have come out of a box. They'd have been over.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can't believe we have another episode tomorrow. I can't believe I got 2 more hours of wrestling to watch tonight. Like, holy freak.
All I know is Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to win the Royal Rumble this year. And he's going to do it for Dewey.
He's going to do it at the Super Show on a Saturday.
Special guest referee. I'm already getting excited.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Post to Post.
Dewey, 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 Dewey.